Morning.
Morning, Harry. Nothing for me on Saturday, love. I'm going to my mother's.
Coming back Monday, are we, love?
Too right. I've got the kids' school.
Fellas, where are you going? Here! Wait! Wait! Now, leave it out, fellas! Look, don't get naughty, lads!
Morning, troops.
Morning,
sir.
Up the Argyles. George.
Yeah.
AC Crime want you to move to Wandsworth.
Wandsworth?
Shh. George, now listen. This is a crime prevention operation. Surveillance, dabs, photos of young muggers, car drivers, thieves, pickpockets. It's right up your alley, pal.
How long for? Couple of weeks?
A year.
A year?
George!
Jack, up!
Now listen. Regard this as a compliment because first and foremost, you are a detective.
But Jack, Wandsworth?
Well, as it happens, I've told them that I cannot spare you.
Jack! Hallelujah!
Had you worried there for a minute, eh?
Yeah.
Now listen to this. Bunch of kneecappings and a couple of murders.
Yeah.
Now, the common denominator is that they are all soldiers, thinking themselves as hard men. 3 from the same unit, bit of form, all over the country.
Ho, 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 ho.
Saint-Javin! Ah, Master Jack Ketch. Choose what office thou wilt in this land. 'Tis thine. I will double charge thee with indignities.
Hey, George. What's with a Jack Ketch?
Well, it's after the Newgate hangman. This is wonderful stuff, Jack. Murders, kneecappings. Oh, superb. Willis, Miss Bennett, to horse, to horse. There's work afoot.
Yeah?
Good afternoon. Eleanor Ragby.
Yeah?
I'm from Scotland Yard. I wonder if it's possible... Not a fan of the thin blue line, I see.
Oh, it was the baby.
Sorry?
Baby was sick. All down his front.
Oh, well, look, I can wait.
Oh, it's all right. My sister's here.
Oh, really? Can I,
Come in. Ragby? It's the police.
Pardon my not rising.
Thank you, Mrs. Ragby.
Bugger off.
Charming. He's always like that.
Have a seat.
Thanks. My feet are killing me.
I suppose you've come about all this.
Well, it's just a few questions.
What's to say? Couple of geezers blasting me. That's it.
I was supposed to be at a wedding today. Go from my old flat. So I don't want to be long, you see. Just write down something that'll keep the job happy and I'll be on my way.
Ah, the system.
Precisely. So, very quickly, and I'm sure you've been through all this before, it's a case of the right hand...
Not knowing what the left one's doing, right?
Exactly. Who shot you?
I don't know. As God's my witness. Couple of muggers, I suppose.
But you weren't mugged, Mr. Ragby. You were kneecapped.
Yeah.
Why?
Perhaps they thought the stripper was a bit naff.
Over a bit.
What, here?
Yeah.
You reporters, are ya?
Beat it.
I found a car.
Saw it.
Your friend an epileptic, is he?
Tell us.
It was green. Brown, she's colourblind. I'm not. All right, what colour's this jacket then? Green. See?
Where were you?
Looking out my bedroom window.
You got the number?
Just the last bit. Something 3p.
OHG 643P.
Just the last bit.
But you didn't see the shooting.
He knew the bloke.
The milkman.
He chucked his crack at the bloke and turned to run. Therefore, he must have known him.
Well, maybe he just saw the gun. Wouldn't you run?
How would a milkman have that fast reactions? I mean, look. He sees car, drops crate, turns away. Finished up where you was lying. Bloody athletic milkman.
Kid had a point.
Yeah. You got a curriculum vitae of the deceased in amongst all that bump.
Now, Harold Alfred Tate, born 1949, enlisted Royal Engineers April 67, transferred 9 Squadron 16th Independent Parachute Brigade. Bloody good crowd, Gov. When I was in the second
Get on with it.
Excuse me. Where can I find a Mr. McLeod?
Through there in the workshop, madam.
Thank you.
Bastard. Oh, good afternoon. Bugger of a fit.
So I see.
They're deep, you see. So for a small corpse, we have to put in a false bottom. Plywood, but they do the trick.
I thought that...
Yeah, I know you did.
Detective Constable Bennett, Intercity Squad from London.
Yeah, what's your problem?
It's about your leg.
Oh, been misbehaving again, has it?
The kneecapping.
Oh, that.
Somebody shot you. I have to process it.
No, you get nowhere, mark my words. Local police going around in circles. Special crime squad came up. Nowhere.
It's just there's been a lot of it about recently. A spate of kneecapping, you might say.
Must be the first thing those micks have exported since dancing on one leg. In fact, there might be a connection.
2 guys, were there?
2 blokes.
Describe them.
One was of average height, wore a neutral-colored jacket, ordinary haircut, no glasses, if I can recall.
No glasses. Oh, well, that's a great help, Mr. McLeod.
Poor old governor looks a bit sick these days.
Who, George?
Lambie, the hangman.
It's ever since Claire left him. Thank you. You men are useless on your own.
Oh, dear.
Ah! You.
What's up, Doc?
Now, all the blokes in this frame are ex-soldiers, right?
Check.
3 parachute regiment, 1 para-engineers deceased, 2 Royal Marine Commandos, 1 deceased, 1 Black Watch, 1 Foreign Legion, and 1 Army Catering Corps.
Yeah. Has to be mercenaries, right?
Army catering corps.
Someone had to cook for them, didn't they? Now, you're in the mine, my son.
What have I done?
Well, you know one of these blokes, don't you?
Well, as it happens, yeah.
Why the bleeding hell didn't you tell me then?
I was going to go. He's on my book for a tickle.
Well, do it.
How do you know one?
D.S. Willis was a red wizard.
Devil.
Devil.
First thing tomorrow, Chief.
Do it now. Do it now. No grace and favour on my patch. Cheers.
Talking of antiques. Dodger! Hang about, mate. Hello, Sarge. How's tricks?
Corporal Dodger Bleeding Willis. How you doing, mate?
Oh, scratching a living. What'd you do? Fall off the ladder?
Oh, yeah, a bit of an accident. So what you been up to?
Drinking and telling lies, mostly. You fancy a snort?
Well, to tell you the truth, Dodger, I'm off the lotion.
DT's finally strike, did they?
Nah. Come on, I've got one in the fridge for you.
Cheers. Hey, you've been on your travel shop.
You still with the police, are you, Dodger?
Yeah, can't find nothing better.
There you go, mate.
Cheers. So what's with the Snow White's delight?
Well, I can't paint that bleeding masterpiece with a shaking hand, can I? It's a business call, is it, mate?
Just happened to hear a whisper.
About this, eh?
To the effect, Shove, that you and a few other mates got involved in a contract job abroad which turned sour and got 2 croaked and 5 kneecapped so far.
Look, Dodger, I'm not a brave man.
But this has got you scared.
Yeah, sure it is.
And it's the result of one job. I ain't never seen you scared before, Shove. D23, New Scotland Yard, mate. Ask for me or leave a number.
The frost performs its secret ministry, unhelped by any wind.
Well, well. What does D23 want with Special Branch?
Who's handling mercenaries these days?
Why do you want to know?
Listen, we both work in the same building, Constable. Only in my office you can borrow a cigarette without the need of a lie detector test.
Perhaps things have changed since you worked here.
Yeah, you got a new poster. And the proportion of long-haired school leavers has raised.
Mercenaries.
Oh, just a quick word.
Frankly, Mr. Bullman, I was expecting you.
Really?
Seems that some of them have been getting a little bit naughty, right?
Hello, doll. Welcome to the 4th Estate.
A bit early, isn't it?
Nah, this is my breakfast. Well, how's crime?
Harry Tate, Vic McLeod, Shove Christie, Trevor Ragby.
Dogs of war.
Yeah, you did a piece on Angola for the Times. I've just been reading it.
Immorality breathes lightly on my neck, doll.
And these characters were there?
A story in it for me?
Well, it could be for both of us.
Have you ever heard of a big, red-headed fella? Runs a couple of birds, bit of extortion. Rumour had it that he's fixed up a few contracts like this in his time.
Name of...
Keene. Red Keene. Works out of an office up west. Works as a sort of agent for people like that.
Yes, well, come on, Will, come on.
A mate of mine retired last year. Charlie Ford, sub-editor, old school. Well, now, his kid wanted to be a reporter. Crazy lad. Ex-pilot.
So?
So, about 8 months ago, he went off with a group of mercenaries to Upper Volta or someplace like that.
And?
He never came back.
And this is relevant?
You come here mob-handed, Sharp?
On my own, Red.
All right, Don, check him out.
He's got a parcel.
What do you come here for, Sharp? I mean, don't you think one patella is sufficient, my son? And?
You ever heard of an MI-495, NATO code name Fox Cub?
Maybe I have, maybe I haven't. It's a Russian-built pilotless plane. No bigger than a kid's model. They plan to use them for battlefield reconnaissance. Nobody's ever seen one, though. Well, not so far.
Didn't they have any in Afghanistan?
No. But it was one of the things we're on the lookout for.
What about the Yanks?
Nobody. Nobody has more than a blurred photo of one.
So? I'm listening.
That's a piece of its anti-missile system. Just a piece.
Oh, yes. Just hop into the Russians and ask them for it, did you?
Well, I'd have to walk into any place these days, wouldn't I, Red? That's straight out of Chad. Very recent it is.
How can it be recent? You've been out of Chad for weeks.
I'm giving you facts, Keegan.
What good is this to me?
It's evidence. Have it checked. I can produce the complete system if you can afford it.
How much?
Well, I reckon the sum that's been in dispute, mate. $300,000 US from that Chad bank we liberated.
How many ways do I have to convince you? That money never got out of Chad. The Dakota crashed after it left you.
I'm sure you'll find it somehow. Try tapping your friends in high places.
All right. I'll check it out. Then what?
One, we stop this blatant nonsense. Put away your shooters. I'll produce a system. You produce the cash. Everybody gets rich.
And if I can't produce the cash? I mean, this bit alone must be worth a fortune.
Then me and the lad start shooting back. You owe me a kneecap, Dominic. You and that skydiving friend of yours. And Mr. Keegan here. Don't imagine I'll forget that.
God had meant to fly with us. He'd have given us wings.
It's a great feeling, Gov. Second greatest thrill, they say.
It's unnatural, though, isn't it? Stepping out of a perfectly good airplane. Now, this bloke Reed is a funny bloke, Willis. Won a gong in Malaya yonks ago. Company Sergeant Major was lined up for a commission. He bottled out.
Bottled out, Chief?
Hit the bottle. Same difference. And when he dried out, he went off fighting other people's wars.
And his file with SB?
Petered out about 10 months ago. Except for a note from immigration. Seen me slip back in the country about 5 weeks ago.
Where from?
Calais, which don't tell us much.
Except the shooting started just 1 week later.
Not really stable enough, Alan. Keep that back, Arch.
Good day to you.
Can we have a word, Squire?
I'm not a squire. Now, Mr. Reed, as you were saying...
Ragby, Tate, Shove, Christie, Vic McLeod, sure, I know them, or know of them.
In what connection?
What they been up to?
Tate's dead. Gunshot. The other three have been kneecapped.
No.
I think Ralph can sleep sound in his bed tonight, don't you, Derek?
Too true, Gov.
Ralph?
Richardson, sir. Thespian Knight.
The actor.
As an actor friend, you're bleeding terrible, right, Derek?
Just awful. Now, ex-company Sergeant Major Reed, I'll tell you our problem, and then hopefully you'll stop playing silly buggers.
Vanessa? I can't recollect Jimmy mentioning you, my dear. Mind you, he was never around much those last couple of years.
He was in the RAF, wasn't he, before going in for journalism?
Ah, journalism. Jimmy couldn't report the Grand National without getting the winner wrong. He just liked the excitement. Foreign parts.
Why the past tense, Mr. Ford?
Young Jimmy's gone and bitten off a bit more than he can chew.
He mentioned something about mercenaries.
Ah, he told you about Chad. You must be well in. Quiet as the grave Jimmy was about his contracts, such as they are.
Murder was not on the menu. You're going to have us all on the lagging station to the year dot, you know that?
We didn't bloody well do it. Not the head jobs. They're not down to us.
We sorted out the troublemakers, Red. That's what you hired us for. Leg jobs.
Look, those geezers had it in for you, Red. Nobody believed that tale about a crash Dakota. You nicked their 300 grand.
Just shut your mouth! You got your share, didn't you? Or are we getting greedy?
Red, it's just these killings. Harry Tate, the other guy.
Look, they're not down to us.
You leg jobs, that's what you paid us for. We're definitely not available for UK head jobs.
Well, if it's not you two, who the hell is it?
Maybe they got a private feud going, that lot.
You were all together in Chad. Anybody fall out?
No.
Not really.
Not bleeding really ain't good enough, Sunshine. Spit it out!
Well, there was a little bit of hostility when Jimmy Ford got shot.
Yeah, but that moody was directed against you and me, Dominic. No one else.
Either way, we should cool it. Lose the shooters. Red Keegan. Oh, how pleasant to hear from you, sir. I trust the Arabian gentlemen were well satisfied? Yes, that is interesting. I believe the entire guidance system, sir. Somewhere around 150,000. I thought that'd be a trifle high. All right. I'll try and set something up.
Who was that?
HMG. That Fox Club kit is giving them hot flushes. Apparently it's worth a fortune. Right, set up a meeting with Chef Christie. Tell him I'll pay 200 grand US, no more.
Bless my soul. Mr. Dugdale, upon my word. Well, now, this is a surprise. What do you think of our pictures? Apolitical scenes from far-off lands, eh? Whatever happened to the Battle of the Nile and Gordon and Khartoum?
Times change, dear boy.
Yes, so they do. So they do.
Well, now, and what brings you to the Foreign Office?
Inspector. Just pursuing my inquiries, sir.
I thought you were at the Home Office. Oh, it's all government service, you know. Oh, Mr. Gilbert. Oh, I see. Now, what's the Met's interest in Northwest Africa, may I ask?
Just a few points have cropped up.
Oh, well, in that case, let me show you the way, Detective Inspector. Bless my soul, no sign of Gilbert. Come in, come in.
Well, she phoned up, you know, the lady downstairs. He knows I'm coming.
Oh, yes, yes, I'm sure. Grab a seat, old man.
Yes, well, I'll just sit here and wait for Mr. Gilbert. Don't let me keep you from affairs of state.
No. Oh, Gilbert might be some time, Inspector.
Was there ever a Mr. Gilbert, sir?
As ever was. And doubtless he will walk in at any moment.
Then I mustn't detain you.
No, dear boy. No. Now, the Shad business.
I don't recall mentioning Chad.
Oh, come now, Sergeant Bullman. Coyness ill becomes you. You are not the naivest of men.
Right. A group of mercenaries are going round killing and wounding each other in the UK. Now, I don't believe that the same people that are doing the killing are doing the wounding. But more important, I have reason to believe that a civilian named James Ford has been involved with them. He went out to Chad and was murdered there. Now, I mean to find his killer or killers and bring them to justice.
Of that, Detective Chief Inspector Bullman, I, for one, have no doubt. And that is all? This is your only interest?
For the moment, yes.
Oh, well, under those circumstances, yes, I believe we can be of some assistance to you.
Wouldn't we be more comfortable, sir, in your own office?
Well, I don't have an office here, dear boy, as such.
Sir, you know who did it?
Now, if I did, Mr. Bullman, would I not have been duty-bound to inform you, Scotland Yard? Oh, come now, you encourage me to have illusions of immunity from the legal process. The answer is, Inspector, I have my suspicions, based, however, on information to which you might not, at this moment, be privy.
Sir, I'm holding my breath.
Right. Now, Chad, here we have Colonel Gaddafi playing his own mixture of Adolf Hitler and Omar Khayyam. Result, the French pull out, taking the 11th Division of crack paratroops with them. The country is racked by civil war, the northern regions of Nigeria drawn into conflict, and to add fuel to the fire, two ex-CIA renegades, Frank Turple and Ed Wilson, work out of Tripoli to extend the writ of the Mad Colonel. And if that isn't a perfect setting for the freelance soldier, I would like to know what is.
And for the freelance journalist?
Right. The journalist was a fool. The free world has permitted writers and reporters to imagine that they have some sort of personal quarantine from the situations they report.
And some of them get killed for their trouble.
Right. Though HMG does not countenance murder. It's a fact. However, between these four walls, I sometimes wish it wasn't so old-fashioned. But there we are. I must serve my masters.
What happened out there?
The spirit of adventure, dear boy, reached out from the sand and grabbed James Ford by the jugular.
Do you think you could be a bit more specific?
We go back a long way, don't we? Us old war horses.
Yes, sir.
Well, then I'll tell you everything I know. I'll bare my department soul to you.
That'll be the day.
Now, don't tell me that your job has turned you into a cynic.
Like the ugly duckling? Yeah.
That was a signet, dear boy.
Oh, yes. So it was.
I thought you'd be back, Corporal.
Yeah, well, I can't leave it out, Shove. And better the filth what you know, right?
Listen, Dodger, there's nothing a Met can do for me leg, and I've still got the other one. Plus I'm warm. So I'm ahead, ain't I?
Shove, we know about Chad. We know about Red Keegan. We have a fair idea about the reporter, Jimmy Ford. Now, somebody's going to go down the steps for murder, Shove. And I'm not talking about the two got done in this country, am I?
Listen, Dodger, there's more than me in this frame.
Yeah, I know.
So why not try picking on somebody who's not your old platoon sergeant, eh?
Is that an appeal to me better nature, Shove? Why don't you know what all coppers are?
Bastards.
So Ford was killed to keep him quiet.
It was a mercenary's dream, Jack. Najima was a town split in two by the fighting. The bank was in no man's land. The money was in US dollars, paid by Gaddafi to his pals in Chad to finance the revolution. It was due to be flown to Geneva as soon as the airport was reopened.
Were all the mercenaries involved?
In the thieving? Yeah. Loot, Jack. It's half the attraction. It's promised in all the brochures.
But Ford wouldn't play ball.
He wrote a piece on it. Mercenaries heist bank during battle.
And Reed killed him.
They shot him in the back. Apparently only Reed and another bloke called Dominic had the stomach for it.
Nice fellas.
Yeah. Some of the lads were outraged. Jimmy Ford was well liked. He was sort of the outfit's mascot. Guns were pointed and cocked. Tense moment.
Looking forward to having a chat with ex-company Sergeant Major Reed.
You're leaving it a bit late.
God almighty!
Well, short of a Ouija board, I think we've missed our chance. Right. Now here you've got your returned mercenaries from Chad.
Yeah, but who employed them in the first place, Chief? Not the French, they got their own guys. There's bars in Paris and Marseille you could invade Poland from.
CIA?
Don't know.
I thought Dugdale told you.
Dugdale made it clear that he'd help me only so far as crimes in the UK are concerned.
But the rest is none of our business. Bloody cheek. Still, maybe he doesn't know, George.
Yeah, you could be right. But this I do know. Reed was murdered. He pulled his ripcord and Roman candled. Poor bugger's reserve chute was jammed tight.
But why would Keegan top his own man?
I don't think Keegan topped anyone.
No?
I mean, kneecapping, although violent and nasty, sort of makes sense. Cooling off a bunch of mercenaries who thinks that he's nicked their £500,000 that they nicked from a bank in Chad.
But murder?
Yeah. Homicide's a different can of beans, isn't it? I don't think Keegan's that crazy.
Then who is?
The killing started in Chad.
The reporter.
And Keegan was nowhere around at the time.
So maybe we want to go back to basics.
Find out just what happened out there in Beaugest country.
Right, Willis, you and me, we'll put the frighteners on. The weak links. Miss Bennett, get me a photograph of that reporter, Jimmy Ford, and explain in your report why we don't have one already.
He thinks I was dragging my heels.
You slipped up, love. Now drive off and get that picture.
Oh, bloody hell.
Vanessa, you don't have a photo of this chap Ford.
I'm just off to get it, sir.
What did I say?
There's definitely no doubt about it. Sergeant Major Reed was done in. I've just been down the aerodrome and spoke to a couple of the boys. Both his chutes were nobbled. Harry Tate, Pete Gregory, and now Reed. What the hell is going on out there? Well, it could be down to Shove Christie. Shove Christie? What do you mean? Well, with Reed out of the way, we're going to be a bit short-handed on the muscle department, right? Now, that would be tactics. I mean, Shov's no fool. He must have sussed that things are going to get a bit naughty around the handover.
Yeah, but that still doesn't explain the milkman, Pete Gregory. They were mates of Christie's.
Yeah, true. They were. In fact, they were the three on the burial party.
What burial party?
Well, Reed and me topped this nosy reporter, see?
I don't think I want to know.
Well, there was a burial party. And Sergeant Major Reed told three of the blokes to bury the scribe. Harry the milkman, Pete Gregory, and Shove Christie.
Of which only Christie remains alive, huh?
Well, I fancy it's all tied in with the anti-missile gear.
You mean Christie's gone crook on his oppos?
Well, it figures, doesn't it? He picks up 200 grand in dollars, bugs out on his Todd.
Yes, but why kill him? There was no necessity for that.
It's beyond me. Unless it's something to do with this burial party.
You mean they found out about this gizmo when they were burying the reporter?
And Shove Christie's got rid of the only two geezers that know anything about it.
Plus my number one winger.
Which means that I'd better take good care.
Which means this meeting with Christie could turn out to be a bloodbath.
How did you get hold of that piece of Russian missile, Shove? I mean, none of us brought it out.
It's not missile, mate. It's off a pilotless drone. The point is Keegan will fork out. He's got contacts in high places, and they reckon it's ace kit.
Yeah, Keegan's on form. He's going to try and get the goods without having to part with his money. Or our money. As it was there, back in the sand.
Which is why I need you and Ragby along as backup.
Big deal. We've got 3 good legs between us.
Oh, the odds are a bit better since old Jack O'Reed temp-pegged out at the Para Club.
Yeah. Terrible, that.
Ah, Mrs. Ragby.
I'm Eleanor Rugby, yeah.
Who's Terence, then?
Who wants him?
We're police officers, love.
Well, I'll see if he wants to see you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Very nice of you.
Rugby!
On your feet, Tarzan. Scotland Yard.
I ain't got nothing more to tell you. Straight up. I never saw the blokes what done this.
So, let's get down to basics, Ragby. It was Company Sergeant Major Reed and young Dominic, wasn't it?
We know the lot, so relax. Do yourself a favour.
I'm not with you.
Terence, I'm not a patient man. Ask Sergeant Willis here.
He's not a patient man.
So, we know all about Chad. I know about the bank you liberated out there. And I know about the nastiness between you lot and Red Keegan, who swears he never got the dollars you sent out by Dakota.
Look, Mr. Bullman, I haven't done nothing wrong, and that's the truth.
James Ford, journalist. Our info is that you topped him at Najima.
Me? That's a bloody lie.
Who then?
Is it Sergeant Major Reed? He's dead now, so it wouldn't be squealing, eh?
Yeah. It was Reed.
What happened to Jimmy Ford's body?
Just leave him lying there, did you?
No. He was buried.
What, with full journalistic honours?
As it happens, he was a nice fella. Ex-pilot.
Who buried him?
Not me. It was Harry Tate, Pete Gregory, and Shove. Shove Christie.
Photograph? Must have one of the blighters somewhere. Good health.
And you, sir.
Is this for identification purposes?
We haven't found a body, Mr. Ford. Not as yet.
I like Vanessa. Policewoman, is she?
She's in my department.
Nice young lady. Jimmy would have liked her. Well, let's see if I can't find you that photograph.
photograph. How much, pal? 80p, please.
I knew all about Chad, Jimmy Ford, the lot.
And what did you tell him?
Do me a favour, Shove. Nothing.
Anyway, after this meet, we won't be bothered, will we?
I can't see Keegan handing over 200 grand just like that.
He's a worried man, mate. I mean, the old Bill can't be too happy with his Al Capone act.
Show, you got this magic merchandise on you, have you?
It's back at the gaff. The bloke who brought it out of Chad, he's meeting us there.
Shove. You never said nothing about no bloke.
Who exactly is he?
Another merc. Well, put it this way. He's somebody who wants to keep out of the spotlight.
With a casualty rate round here, he's not a bad judge.
You better turn up, whoever he is. That's all.
Well, of course he'll turn up. He trusts me, don't you?
Okay, Bill, tail him.
What's happening?
Christie, Rugby and McLeod met in a pub in Rotherhithe. They'd driven to a house in Putney, gone inside carrying holdalls.
Keegan?
DC Bennett's tailing him. Presently, he's in the King's Road, Chelsea.
Heading for Putney, no doubt.
The meet. What I'd love to know, who's the boy with the expensive hardware?
I've got a fair idea, Jack.
I must confess, the branch is in the dark.
Walk this way. The late James Ford, gunned down in a Chad Main Street during the war. Now, let us imagine that reports of this young man's death have been greatly exaggerated.
Yellow Mercedes, registration Juliet Victor Uniform 80 November. Stop and apprehend.
That's us. Pelican, did you receive that 1953? Over.
Roger.
Okay, at the junction coming up. Out. I'd like to see the contents of that bag, sir.
Certainly do.
Well, where's this friend of yours with this electronic jackpot?
He's close.
Yeah, well, he's been a bit cautious, hasn't he?
Yeah. Maybe he's right and all.
Easy, man. Not long now.
Shove! There's a motor pulled up at the end of the road.
What, mate?
Mercedes, coupe, yellow.
Right, that's it. Now, you two hide the hardware. I'll signal our man with the goods.
Well, that's all agreed, Shove. Equal shares, including Harry's widow and Vic's girl.
Of course, mate. Only fair.
Yeah, and 10 grand to Jimmy Ford's old man.
Okay. Why not?
Do you trust Keegan?
I'll tell you something, chum. If we ever see that money, You keep your eye on Christie.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that. Okay, Jimmy, you can come out now.
Hello?
Drop it!
Oh, Christ, told you that was a bit swift.
I'll take you out, Shove. Drop it! Hands behind your head. Move!
Get up! Come on! Right, walk. You open the back door! Heard you heard what he said, open the bleeding door! Move! It's all right, mate. I'm no John Wayne.
Police! Drop the gun! Come on, get a move on. Come on. How did Ford get hold of that kit?
How the hell should I know? Came out of Chad with it, didn't he?
Yeah, I suppose he was
leave it out, leave it out. We can ask him personally now, can't we?
Don't touch that, dear boy. The lock may well be booby-trapped.
Hang about. Hey, that's evidence.
Indeed it is, Inspector, and you shall have it back the moment that it has been made safe.
I shall require a receipt, sir.
And you shall have one.
Can I ask you one question,
Ask
sir?
me anything you like, dear boy.
If I hadn't made inquiries at the Foreign Office, would it have occurred to you to inform us that you were doing business with a bunch of killers?
I'd be interested to hear the answer to that.
Detective Chief Inspector Bullman, in affairs of international import, it is sometimes necessary to sup with the devil.
Well, if ever I catch you at it, sir, you are bleeding nicked.
And if you ever do catch me at it, sir, so I should be.
What the hell was that all about?
I don't know. Oh, let's go and book someone parked in a double yellow line, shall we?